Well, hello there and welcome to this, I guess you can call it kind of like a pencil instructional video, and this is the best angle and position that I could come up with. And I lost my pencil, so I've got to find it quick because we got to get on this lesson here. Hold on a minute. We'll use a mechanical pencil. Normally I would be using just a regular number 2 that I have sharpened the lead myself with X-Acto knife, but I have misplaced my pencil. So what I wanted to show you here, it came about when I saw a picture of MC Escher's drawing hands. I've been trying to figure out, I'm just starting out, so I'm not a professional artist or anything, and I want to make sure you understand that. I've been trying to figure out the best way for me to hold my pencil. And I've been told that you can't lay it flat and do this because your eyes are looking down and you're not getting, you're moving your wrist if you're doing your normal writing, and you're working with the part of your brain that does the, the writing and the thinking part of it. You're not working with your creative. I think it's right side of the brain is supposed to be the one that you're supposed to be drawing with. You're working with your left if that's the one where you're thinking, and so it's not the right mode, and trying to do it this way you only get a limited wrist movement. So this puts you in the wrong mindset, wrong thinking ability, wrong thinking part of your brain to try to draw like this. Forgive me for stumbling around a little bit. I'm usually a little more eloquent, but I didn't get a lot of sleep today. Anyhow, so I've been told that one of the ways that we should hold it is like this. And you can see that we have thumb and forefinger here. The hands are just resting. And I think you're supposed to keep everything relaxed, and you're supposed to keep your wrist stiff, and then you draw it like this. So we're going to do some normal exercises like we're doing some lines here. I don't know if you can see them on that camera or not. And then we're going to do some more lines. And to me, I don't like this. I mean, I know you need to practice it to get more control over it and stuff, but I don't feel that I have, the full range. I don't feel I have enough control. I don't like this position. I don't know about this for me. But then back to the MC Escher drawing hands thing, I noticed, although it looks like it's another hand like way over here like this, the one that I'm referring to, it looks like that kind of. I don't know if you can see that on the camera there. But I played with it with my hand. Maybe he was a left-handed guy, I don't know, but I played with it with my drawing hand, and I came up with this position here. And what we got is either this or this. It's one of these two is how Mr. Escher drew that hand, and I'm assuming it's his own hands that he's drawing, and showing us actually how to draw, how to hold the pencil. I like this position right here because we're not talking about a writing position, so it's a different form of the mind. I'm not in write mode now because I don't write like, this. And this, when you lock it with your wrist and you're moving your hand, look what you get here. You get this kind of position where now you have a little more control. I had to move a little further back. It's a mechanical pencil, so it's a little different. That's another reason to use the regular pencils. But now you have more control, and now you can draw lines that are a little more controlled. To me, anyway. It seems like I have more control here. But the most benefit to this position here is that I can also hold it like this too if I want to move more of my whole arm. So I've got a different couple of approaches here that I can access, and when I want to draw details, instead of having to choke down because they say to do details like you do when you're writing, instead of having to do that, I can just flip over my hand. So now I have this whole arm movement for my drawing, and then I have this for maybe little details that I might want to do. And then I can go back to my whole arm movement here. So I wanted to share that. I thought that was important. This only works if you have a the paper pointed at your nose, you have it on a board. This is just a piece of scrap board that I found. A couple of these, I guess they're called bookbinding clips, holding the paper in. There was a good price on a ream of I think it was 11 by 18 60-pound paper, so that's what I'm using, and you know, you can't really see through it. I don't know if you can see that very well or not. I just cut it in half with a, and I sharpened my pencil the same way. I just cut it in half using, well, that was the most expensive thing that I had to buy so far, was the, I'm not using an X-Acto or craft knife, I'm using a box knife. But it works the same way, and that's how I cut my paper, that's how I sharpen my pencil. But I wanted to share that there's a couple of different positions here. The main point to take away, you're going to hear from everybody else, is you don't want to be always resting your hand on the drawing like this, because if you do that, this smudges. I don't know if you can see that on there, but when you drag your hand like that, it smudges. So you have to have a piece of paper underneath. And you're also limited in the movement, so you collect pencil stuff here on your part of your hand, so it's going to ruin your drawing. It's going to be very hard to keep it clean. But if you are using a position, whichever one works for you, I mean, you might like this better. So if you do, and this probably works better for painting or something, I don't know, but you know, if you're using this, now notice that my hand isn't resting on the board anywhere. And keeping the wrist, I'm keeping it relaxed but stiff. I'm not moving the wrist. I'm not moving this. This is not how I'm drawing. That's the same problem as if I was doing this, because now I'm doing my fingers. You can do the wrist if you're trying to do details, which is probably okay, but it's either the arm or the wrist or the fingers, but you shouldn't do all three at once. You should have just one movement. So this might be appeal to you. If that doesn't appeal to you, this is how MC Escher, the drawing hands, pretty much shows how it is. It's either this way or it's this way, but I was playing with this and I figured out there's no support here. And all the hands here in the drawing hand picture were laying out. And he wasn't drawing like this, obviously, with his thumb out, because there's no control there. So it makes sense that even though it doesn't show in the picture, because of the position of the hands, I think it's kind of a sideways like this. Or something like that, so you don't see it. But it makes sense to me that this is the position, because now you're holding it, it's not a writing position, and you have two ways now of working, which makes it really easy now to do your regular work and then your fine details. And I angled the board wrong, should be pointing at my nose, it's up here. Hopefully you can still see that. So I just wanted to share that tip with you. I don't know if it'll help anybody or not. I was trying to figure out the best way to hold the pencil. I don't have a desk. I just have my recliner to sit and work at. So what am I going to do? And this came up to me to be the best way I could find to do things. So shared that with you. And other exercises you can do if you want to know, got this from another video, is 2 dots. And you just ghost. And then at some point you do a faint line. And you see how much control you have there. That's what really got me about this particular position. I have a lot of control here. And then if I do 3 dots, try to ghost a curve. And you notice how it's, I don't know if you can see that on the camera there, but you notice it's my whole arm. It just feels weird with my wrist. I don't know how to explain how weird that feels, but I think this is how he was drawing. And if it was good enough for MC Escher, well, it was good enough for me. But you see, okay, I almost did it. You see how much control you have there. That, to me, that seems a lot better than this. So you have different positions here. You've been given a couple of different options. The main point to take away is do not try to draw like you write. Don't do that. Because, and oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to point out. There's another artist, Jacques Francis, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, he recommends sketching. Well, the only reason that you would need to sketch like this, which is just doing little lines and then correcting as you go along, is because you're doing it with the wrong hand. I didn't check his hand position. I need to watch the video again and check it, but you're doing it with the wrong. I mean, I could understand having the need to sketch like that if you're doing it in a writing position. So if you are going to insist on doing it in a writing position, then make sure that you try to keep your hand off the page. If you're on the page, put a paper underneath it and do little lines that you can correct as you go along. But that's how he recommended you draw. But you don't need to do that. You have plenty of control if you just relax, use your whole arm, because they do say that your arm is a better artist than your wrist and fingers, and I think that they might be right. Let's see if I can emulate that. Yeah, see? And I've just started using this. And I'm drawing, and like I said, I'm not a professional artist. I mean, I still draw stick figures, so, but I'm doing a circle just fine using this position. So I would go with what MC Escher is showing you there, and see, it's just a lot easier, and you can also do it both directions, I assume. It'd probably be a good practice to do that too. So I think that covers everything. Hope the video helped, and I don't know if I'll do more. I might do a video on showing how to sharpen the pencil later. I noticed that all the ones I had on YouTube were pretty low quality, so this one will hopefully be at least 800 by 600, I think. So I'll see you later.